So this next song I'd like to do is actually it's the song that came out yesterday. And this has been a crazy. Wow, everybody, it's been such a journey. It's unbelievable. This song was written 2 years ago actually, and it was just kind of an interesting time of life. I had gotten back from my mission in Chile, and it was, I think transitions are always hard in life. Change is hard. And, it took me a while to understand, why change felt the way it did, and why sometimes it was scary, and it was hard, and emotional, and you could feel sometimes just the blues during those changes when the future is so unfamiliar now. All the routines you knew, that you knew your way through, it's like all just scrambled now. And I think that's how I felt when I went from, I guess every change, going to school, going to junior high, going to high school, going to college, making a move, going on to a mission, starting a new job, asking someone out, asking someone to marry you. There's, having your first child. I feel like change, those changes can be really scary sometimes. And, it was scary. It was a challenge going into my mission, and it was a challenge getting back from my mission too. And what was interesting was, even coming into the entertainment industry was also a big change. Starting from the, probably like 8.5 years ago now, when I was on season 7 of American Idol. That was just crazy how everything changed from I always like to keep it to myself and just not being noticed, and it was so weird because I'm still kind of I like to just kind of go my way through, just discreetly and conspicuously, and so people always say, well, you picked the wrong job, buddy. But I do love the power of music, and it was interesting coming back into a world where, it was a big change because all these new people were around me in the music business and artists, and suddenly fans, people recognizing you. So a lot of people started telling me what was important in my life. And I think, they would tell me it's about how many albums you can sell. It's about how many people show up to your events and concerts. It's about how popular you get, how many people look at your videos, and how many people like your photos, and things like that. And I thought, well, these people are experienced, they've been here for a while, they must know what they're talking about, and so I believed them. And as I started going into it more and more, I just realized all those things that you're focusing on, and just the amount of people, and when people recognize me, do they scream at me, and do they say, I love you, and things like that. It's thank you. Thank you. It's just, when you rate your, okay, we're done. But, I feel like when we get caught up in how many people know us, how popular we are, how much money we're making, and ranking our satisfaction of life on that, you can feel really empty. And that's what I was feeling. I was starting to feel really empty. And I remember one time when we were playing a show there that first year I was doing my shows, and the single came out, and I performed at this radio station show, Z100 radio station in Madison Square Garden for the Christmas time. And they had all these acts there, it was crazy to see just all these people. They're backstage. There goes Rihanna, and there goes Leona Lewis, and then get a knock on the door, and it's Bruce Springsteen, and he wants to bring his daughter and his and her friends to come, hey, is it all right if my daughter takes a picture with you? Like, sure, come on in. It was crazy. And at that show, they had me, I don't know why they had me second to last, right in between Kanye West and Chris Brown. And there we had, Kanye West had all his, he had pyro going and dancers, all these LED lights, and it was insane. And then there I was, just kind of just me and my band, and it's like, I was like, I don't know, what am I doing here? It was crazy. And then Chris Brown, of course, is just like doing all this stuff. Dancers and everything too. And it's just insane, like having that moment where it's like Madison Square Garden, all these people, and it's like they're singing along to my songs. It's just unbelievable. And those moments, they're very exciting. And I do feel an adrenaline rush, and they are special experiences. But when you're ranking your life on how happy you are based on that, those moments only last for a little bit. It's like eating a cake. When it's like, oh, it's really good, it's really tasty, but then, well, at least for me, after I eat like a slice of cake, I get a sugar crash. And so it's for the moment. It's exciting for that moment. And if you're always looking for that to fill you, it doesn't do the job. It doesn't sink in deep enough to last. And the people kept telling me, oh, you must be on cloud nine, this must be the happiest time of your life ever, having all these moments, and I just thought, trying to convince myself that what they were saying was true, because they've been here, they've been in the business, and I felt so empty. I felt empty, trying to follow the crowd. And I felt like I was back in high school or junior high, even more, because it was all about how, being cool and being popular and what you could do to be even cooler and more popular. And it really left me feeling just strange. And so it really changed a lot of things in my perspective in life. And then I went on a mission, and it was just such a drastic change, as I was talking about. It was a hard change. It was really difficult, but it was an amazing time because I found the joy in simple things. No longer were people, oh, David, and here, singing my songs and stuff. I was trying to get people, on the street and say, hey, walking down the dirt road and say, hey, do you want to listen to a song, a hymn? I am a child of God. Well, in Spanish, but it was amazing to see how the opposite end of things, music still had a power. For people I didn't know in the middle of nowhere, as people said that. Why are you going out, to the middle of nowhere? Do you really think you can do more good there than you can where you are now? Look at how many people you can touch. Look at how, God has given you this gift of music. Don't you think, who's placed you there? Well, isn't it God? So why would you run from that? And I thought, man, well, maybe they're right. I mean, I don't know. But when I was there, I realized, no, it's the simple things. That if I focus on these simple things in my life, no matter where I am, what I'm doing, if I'm at a show or if I'm walking down the street or if I'm just visiting my neighbor, it's always going to be those same things that make you happy. Those small and simple things. My family and my relationship with God and those good friends you have around you. And that light, and things that have light. That's really what I learned. And so when I got back, sorry, I'm talking way more than I was talking. Thank you. I'll try and be quick so I can get to the songs, because I still have a few more. So, I guess it's daylight savings time. Where we get an extra hour. So when I got back, here was another transition, another change, and I was, going into these meetings, and I thought, I'm going to show people that I wasn't just hiding, I wasn't just running away. I'm here to, to work and to be productive with my life. And so I went into these meetings, and it was just like, oh, that's nice. You served your mission trip, very nice. Anyway, back to you and how we're going to make your name go up again and just, get you more attention and more, build up everything again and more on you and how we're going to make you famous and how we're going to build. It's just so much of you, and it was really hard for me. And so I started going and writing songs again, and here I was trying to write songs once again. And the writers, because it's just a thing. It's like, okay, will this be popular? Is this catchy enough? Is this hooky? Or does this work? Those kinds of things. I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm going back to the place where I was before. Why am I doing this? This doesn't make any sense. So I was going to Nashville a lot because Nashville just was a more family environment, it's southern hospitality, and compared to working in LA and Hollywood all the time. So it was better going to Nashville, but I still was having a hard time. And I just called my manager one day when I was over there and I just said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just done. And she said, okay. Well, there's a lot of things we'd have to change then if that's what you really want to do. And she said, you have a writing session tomorrow. Should I cancel it? I said, no. Let's just do it. I committed to doing it. There's a spider web. It's all over me. Anyway, so I go into this writing session and the writers were Jamie Kenney and Trent Dabbs. Great guys. And they just asked, you always ask, to get ideas going. So they say, what's been on your mind lately? I was like, well. And I was honest with them. I told them, I had gotten back that year from serving a mission and it was amazing. Here I am trying to write music now again, trying to get back into the scheme of things. But I just said, I called my manager yesterday and I said, I just don't want to do this. I was wondering if I should even be here right now. And we just started talking about why and just everything. And they said, well, why don't we write a song about that? I was like, oh, I never thought of that. And so we did. We wrote a song about it, and I realized I can write about things that I'm actually going through. Not always music can be great. It can be fun. You can just have a great time like we were just jumping. I was making all of you jump. But it was so refreshing to be able to tell my story and to talk about what mattered to me. And I just want all of you to know that people are going to tell you what's important. People are going to tell you what your priorities should be and what matters most. And they can confuse you. Like they were with me. Oh, it's about how many likes you get and how many followers and blah, blah, blah. And how many people are filling the place you're at singing. But only you can decide that, really. No one can tell you what matters most to you. And sometimes it's hard to stick to that. Sometimes it's hard to live your life by what matters most to you. But I can promise you that if you do that, it is so worth it, and you will feel a change. And I think that's why we're here. I was singing that song, I'm ready for a change, and I really do feel that. And so my message is trying to help other people do that too. And so anyway, this now that I've been talking for 20 minutes or who knows how long, it's like, okay, David, if we ever need to put our kids to sleep, we'll just take them into one of your... No, so anyway, that song that we wrote was Numb. That came out yesterday, and so I'd like to sing it for you.